In this step, we'll start configuring the network. You'll start creating VLANs for each department and configure trunk links so multiple VLANs can pass through the switch. And you'll probably be wondering, why does VLAN even matter? Well, VLANs allows VLANs allow us to logically separate departments even when they are connected to the same physical switch. This improves security, reduces broadcast traffic, and makes the network easier to manage. So for this project, we just need three VLANs. VLAN 10 is for administration, VLAN 20 is for sales, and VLAN 30 is for IT. Each VLAN represents a separate department and a separate broadcast domain. So I would start by opening the CLI of the switch and start configuring. So what I mostly do is I rename all my devices. So I'll rename the switch. You can choose to do that too, but it's not by force. Host name main. So the switch has been renamed. Now I start creating the VLANs and naming them as well. So VLAN 10 is admin, VLAN 20 is, so we are done with renaming the VLANs. Now let me pull up a little table to show us that we have actually done that. So I'll exit again, show VLAN brief. Now you can see, right? We have VLAN 10, VLAN 20, and VLAN 30. By default, all the interfaces are in VLAN 1. These are created VLANs. They are not by default. We created them. So we would now have to assign these interfaces, the appropriate interfaces that we want, to the appropriate VLANs so that we can work with them. So I'll save. Very important that you save your configuration. Right memo. So now I'll move to assigning the interfaces. So let me show you something real quick here. You can see, just as I told you, by default, all the interfaces are in VLAN 1. So you can see we have fast Ethernet 01, 02, and 03. Those are the ones in admin. And then from the previous video, I told you I always leave a space in between the departments so that to be easy for me during the configuration. So we'll be needing that rule during the configuration. So conf t, then I start with assigning the interfaces to the VLANs that I created. So we start with int range fa0 slash 1 2 3 switch port mode access switch port access VLAN 10, right? Done with that. We save that too. That has been saved, and let me do same for other interfaces as well. Int range fa. Since I already left a space, an empty space, so probably start from 5 to 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's check. Yes, 5, 6, 7, 8. Is it 5, 6, 7? Okay, so just three, 5, 6, 7, 5, 6, 7. Then repeat that process again. Switch port access VLAN 20 to right. Exit. Now, I want you to pay very much attention here because with the IT department, we have the IT building and then we have a separate building where we kept the server. So let's look for, so we have 0 slash 9, 10, and 11. 9, 10, 11 to be for IT. So int range fa0 slash 9, 9, 10, 11. So then we make it switch access, switch port access VLAN 30. Okay, so we're done with that. Now let's find which interface the server connects to. Okay, the server connects to 0 slash 24. So int fa0 slash 24 switch port mode access. Now let me see if there are some shortcuts. Switch port is VLAN 30. Do right. There are shortcuts, but I don't really like using them. Okay, so we are done. We saved it now. Let's go back. Okay, so do show strt. Okay, so you can see here interface. Hope you can see that. We have fa0 slash fast ethernet 1 VLAN 10, ethernet 2 is VLAN 10, 3 is VLAN 10. We didn't assign 4 to anyone. 5, 6, 7, 8 wasn't assigned to anyone. 9 is IT. The rest we didn't assign them to anyone. And then 24, which is the server. So with this, we are done with the VLANs. So let's Let's check. How do we check? So mm, 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 mm. So let me just give it a static IP. Static IP of 192.168.10.10. Let's say 5, right? It's a static IP. 192.168.10. Last one was 5, so this is 6, right? So let me ping 5. 192.168.10.5. You can see we can ping 5, right? Now let's go and ping a different one. This is sales, right? Now make sales 192.168.20. Let's make 5. Now let me make it 1. Okay, then let's open another one. Let's make that one 2. 192.168.20.2. Okay, so now let's ping 1. You can see 1, right? You can see 1. They are both in the same VLAN. Now let's try pinging another PC from a different department. Let's check the IP address for this one. This one is 10.5. You can see it will not even find it. It can't, because what VLAN does is it puts each VLAN in its separate container. Let's take it that way, a separate container. So VLAN 10 will be in a separate container, out of reach from the other containers. I hope you get it. So each VLAN means it's its own separate container. However, we can also tell the VLANs that since you are in a separate container, there are other separate containers around, and if you want, you can communicate with them too. That's what we term as inter-VLAN routing. When that happens, if VLAN 10 is trying to reach out to VLAN 20, it has to use its VLAN ID, right? So let me start with that. We will start by configuring the trunk interface. So with the trunk interface, it's the interface that connects to the router. So let's check. As gig 01. Gig 01 is connecting to the router. So let's start by int g0/1 and switch port mode trunk do right. Yep, we are done with that. Just as simple as that. Oh, we are just done with the configurations on the switch. Now we would move to the router. We're done with switch here. Let me close the other pieces too. Should I rename it? Yep, that's my style. Okay, so with that renamed, we'll start with the inter-VLAN routing. Wait, and by default, routers have their interfaces shut down. That the routers are not like switches. Switches have their interfaces on by default. Switches have their interfaces on by default, but with router they are off. You'd have to turn them on. Pause. So we got gig 00. No, shut down. Okay, so now the interface is up and running. Exit soon. Now I'll start by creating a sub interface, right? This is how we do that. G0/0 dots. A sub interface for VLAN 10. For VLAN 10, so that'll be dot 0. That we want to enable inter-VLAN routing. Okay, so it has been created, and type encapsulation dot 1q 10. Then we assign an IP address. In this case, we would use the default gateway from um, the previous video. We looked at the IP address, and over here the IP address, the default gateway for admin is 192.168.10.1. Sorry. So I'll do that real quick. IP address 192.168.10.1, 255.255.255.0. That's the subnet mask. Do right, and we exit. And then repeat the same process for the other VLANs. So let me use a shortcut I told you about to make here 20. 20 IP address. So 20. Right, exit, and repeat the same for VLAN 30. VLAN 30. IP address 30. Do right. So we are done creating sub interfaces. Do show start. So there you have it. The sub interfaces have been created. So with that we are done. Let's ping again to see if they work. Hmm. So the IP address for, let me assign an IP address for the server, then they should all ping the server. So the server has an IP address of 192.168.30.10. Let me use this side. The server will be static IP 192.168.30.10. Server must be static IP. The default gateway, since the server is in VLAN 10, it will have its default gateway to be 192.168.30.1. Let me pull it up so you can see. You see that 30.1. As you can see here. So let me let this PC ping the server, even though it's in a completely separate VLAN, because the other ones we tried to ping from admin to sales, it didn't work. Now that we have inter-VLAN routing enabled, let's ping the server which is in VLAN 30. If you don't believe me, you can see from here the server which is /24 is VLAN 30. So ping 192.168.30.10. No, I didn't click work. Oh my god, how do you troubleshoot? Terminal one. 68.3. The fuck? Yeah, I forget to save something. Oh, I see it now. I didn't set default gateways for them. I see now. I see. See, troubleshooting. You see that they don't have default gateway, so there is no way when they get to the router will know what to do with them. Hmm. Very good. So the default, since we are using static right now to check, that's why we are meeting these problems. When we get to DHCP, automatically it will do everything. So let me ping it again. There we go. You see that? So the problem we had was we didn't configure the default gateway. But this is only testing. When we are done with the whole thing, we wouldn't need to configure an IP address for any of the PCs. Automatically, it would assign them those addresses. So I think we are done with this one. The next one will be the DHCP. How we configure the DHCP server to automatically assign IP addresses and default gateways to all the other devices. So we wouldn't have to go through the pain of assigning IP addresses manually. Doing that, you could make a mistake. So thank you for keeping out this long, staying and watching. And if this video helped you, you can just drop a like or subscribe, because I'll keep uploading as long as I live. And with this project, the ones that will come after will be much complex and more about the real world problems. So thank you.